About 5 years ago, my son got a video game for Christmas called Guitar Hero. Anybody seen the game? It comes with a fake guitar, and on the screen these notes come at you, and you have to push the lever and push the buttons, and if you do it all right, the music sounds the way the song was supposed to be played. My son got addicted to this game. In fact, our whole family got addicted to the game. It was fun. My son Kip, he went through the entire program, got all the way to what's called the expert level, where you're moving that lever and pushing that button really hard, and he said, "Dad, I love the Guitar Hero game. I think I'm ready for a guitar." He was ready for a real guitar. And so we split it with him 50-50. He bought himself an acoustic guitar. 3 weeks into playing acoustic guitar, guess what Kip said to me? He said, "Dad, it's too hard. This isn't like the video game. The video game, you're pushing a button and you're moving the lever," and he goes, "This is too hard. I can't do it." And I don't say a lot of profound things as a father, but I looked at him and I said, "Kip," I said, "everything is difficult until it isn't." And there was this pause in the room for just a few seconds, and he looked at me and he put his hands on his hips. He said, "Dad, is that from one of your workshops?" And I said, "Yes, it is, but let's think about it. What does it mean?" And he says, I know, practice makes perfect." I said, "No, not really. Practice doesn't make perfect. Because if you're in the backyard shooting baskets and you're using the wrong technique over and over and over, what happens, Aaron? You just cemented the wrong habit. You've just got the wrong habit built in. So practice doesn't make perfect. The quote on our page today says, Vince Lombardi says, "Perfect practice makes perfect." You need to practice it the right way. And there's a difference between practicing something and rehearsing something. Practice is what I think most of us do. I do it in the car all the time. I'm driving and thinking about how I'm going to open. Thinking about how I'm going to open and how it actually comes out sometimes are two different things. I know what I wanted to say. I know how I wanted it to say. And I didn't have any filler words when I did it in my head. But it happened right here. So practice is what you might do in the car. Practice is what you might do as you're brainstorming through your presentation. That's a part of the process. Absolutely, we want to practice. Rehearsal is just like a dress rehearsal where you're actually standing in front of an audience. That would be a great place to practice. Well, I don't have an audience to practice in front of, so what's the next best thing? How about an empty room in a very similar setting? Next best would be stand in your living room. Maybe use my wife and my kids as an audience and let them get a good understanding of what my message is going to be like. That would be a great rehearsal because I'm actually walking through that presentation. Now, a lot of people hear, I always rehearse in front of a mirror. Anybody heard that before? Well, that doesn't work. You want to know why that's so difficult to rehearse in front of a mirror? Because you are practicing what you're going to say, and at the exact same time, you're evaluating what you're saying and how it sounds and what you look like. So you're multitasking. I can't think what I'm going to say next, let alone evaluate myself at the same time. So I want to take it one step at a time, and I want to video record myself. I talked about it earlier. We've all got them in our pockets. Pull out your phone. Set it up. Video record yourself. Audio record yourself. That's a great way to be able to see what works and what doesn't work. Love to have somebody give me some feedback if that's an option. When Russ and I had that opportunity to do it for each other, we will sit down and we will start to take some notes. We put them into 3 buckets. We took this from the Clint Eastwood movie, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And we call it The Good, the Bad, and the New. He said that was the structure that you could give a presentation. It's also the feedback structure that we give to each other. Here's what worked. Here's what didn't work. And here's something new or something different that you could do next time. The good, the bad, and the new. Great way to give feedback to each other when we're evaluating our presentations. Great way to give feedback to your employees when you're coaching them in terms of anything that they're doing in the workplace. So good, bad, new becomes a great structure for giving feedback. So I love to video record myself. I don't love to watch it. It's hard to watch yourself, but it's so valuable to be able to see what's happening. I was telling a story about Tiger Woods. It was a golf story about Tiger on the 16th hole in the 2005 Masters. And I said Tiger had gotten down on one knee and started surveying the green. And as I rehearsed that, I saw myself struggle getting up. Stumbling up. I was like, okay, that didn't look good. When I watched the video, I said, that didn't look smooth. That wasn't the point. It had nothing to do with him actually. I thought I was going to enhance my body language by actually getting down on one knee, but it actually looked clumsy. Made me look older than I am because I had trouble getting up. And so when I did it a second time, I got down on two knees like this. I put my hands on my knees and I said, Tiger Woods surveyed the green. And so the story was a little smoother because of rehearsal. I was able to make some adjustments to the delivery. Video camera's great. Having somebody watch you. You could even hire a coach to present. You could present to. They would give you some fine-tuning tips. They might help you enhance your story. Individual coaches can help you land pauses, help you punch words, help you really turn that memorable close into something that your audience is going to take away. So hire somebody to do it. No, none of this is easy. This is the hardest part of what we do in our programs because everybody says, yes, 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 and then what happens? You leave this room and now the hard part hits. Now you've got to go do something. Nothing changes, nothing improves until you change something. You have to change something. In all of our workshops, at the end of the programs, we have all of our students write down what we call a Kaizen commitment. How many people are familiar with the word Kaizen? Good change. If you want to implement a good change, and it doesn't matter if you did a team meeting, it doesn't matter if you gave a product presentation, if you're having a one-on-one conversation with someone, if you want someone to leave the conversation or the presentation, they need to make some changes, and you can use Kaizen as that foundation. So we want you to leave by doing something different, by doing something better, adding some good things into your presentation. Kaizen is the way to do that. You need to be looking for, always, what are some good changes that I can coach into my presentation? What are some of the bad things that I can coach out of my presentation so that at the end, I'm a more polished presenter. I'm a more polished communicator. Rehearsal's important. Got to practice. I need to rehearse. There's a process that we can go through. I want to evaluate every time I speak what worked, what didn't work, and what will I do better next time. Because as we continue to develop, as we continue to make small changes, we will start to see that we are reaching the goals. We're starting to reach the success that we wanted. And if you want to be successful, you need to remember this very, very important phrase that there's no best. There's always a better. Thank you.